there, and thanks for joining us today on Calendar. I'm Katelyn Mattingly. Joined with me is Chris Copley, the assistant editor of the lifestyle section in the Herald Mail. It's great to see you, Chris. How was your Christmas?
It's always nice to hang with family. You know,
yes.
There's surprises you don't expect, and then there's the stuff that you do every year that's just makes you remember how much you love the people that you live with.
Right.
And may not see for a while. My kids, in town after being away for a while.
And that must be great, having them come back in town for a little bit.
Yeah, it is. They're a little older. They've changed some. They're their own people. And it's nice to see what they bring to the family holiday.
Right.
So, speaking of which, one thing that we did a couple years ago, we went up to the Bluegrass Jam up at Beck and Benedict Hardware in Waynesboro. My kids have been playing guitar the last few years. And it's nice to go to a jam like this one, where you just bring your instruments, you come and you play if you want to, you just listen if you want to. And so it was nice to sit in with some of the old timers who have played forever, very good, but very generous with their time. There's someone new, young person with an instrument, we'll give them a chance to play. They do this every Friday night. And it's just a nice time to go up. There's lots of little groups jamming in the hardware store. And then there's a performance stage, with a small theater where the groups can go and play, and there's some established groups that get together and play as well. So
that's really cool. You can kind of get the different feel of different kind of groups. There's,
yes.
People from different, different times and different places bringing together, music.
Yeah.
That's one thing I love about music. It's that there's just so much you can do with it.
There was a group of younger folks in the back of the hardware store. They were playing, getting together, had an old-time thump, wash tub basin, bass guitar. It was just really nice. Good to get together and hang out.
Cool. Well, it sounds like a really great time. Let's get that information up on the screen for you. Again, it's a Bluegrass Jam from 7 to 10 on Friday at the Beck and Benedict Hardware Music Theater in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. You can go to the website listed on your screen or call the number for more information. And this next event sounds very interesting. I'm very curious to learn more about it.
The Wonderment Puppet Theater in Martinsburg has been around forever. And they have a store where they sell puppets and puppetry items, finger puppets and other things you can play with kids, very kid-friendly. But they also have a theater, and they have puppet shows scheduled throughout the year. So this is the one they have now, of course, is a Nutcracker variation. This is called the Nutty Nutcracker, and it's a lot of slapstick, comedy that kids will appreciate.
Right.
So parents can go and for their kids' sake, and some of it, of course, appeals to adults, but it's really aimed at kids. So and they do it all right there. It's really a nice little venue, brightly colored, great design. I mean, it's a place for kids to go to. Right.
I know when I was little, I loved putting on puppet shows with my brother and sister. When we were at our daycare, that's what we would do almost every day. Just,
there you go.
Put on fun little shows and just the imagination that kids have. It would be a really great event for you and your kids to go to, or really anybody of any age if you love puppet shows. So let's get that information up on the screen for you. Again, it's the Nutty Nutcracker Puppet Show. It's at noon and 2 on Saturday and Sunday at the Wonderment Puppet Theater in Martinsburg. You can call the number on your screen for more information, or you can visit their website.
Now, this next thing is more of a meditative sort of event. And this seems to be, I've heard of this happening in more and more communities. It's a tour of churches decorated for the Christmas season after Christmas. So the holidays, all the events of the holidays are over, but the decorations are still up. And this is the second time that Hagerstown is holding this. They did it for the first time last year. They had 11 churches, 11 churches last year. They have 16 churches, mainly downtown and close to downtown. So you can walk it, although the churches on the far east and far west are about 1.5 miles apart, so you might want to drive there. But you get to see. It's funny because when you are a member of a church, you basically go to one church, and you don't know, just
what
walk
everyone
over.
else's church is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is a chance to just go through. There'll be music in a lot of churches. There'll be decorations, of course, some refreshments, and almost every church has a docent or a guide that can talk about the history of the building. Who's been there, what kinds of events have taken place. The Civil War passed through a couple times. Some of the churches have Civil War history.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting time to go, and just to appreciate the building and the history of this establishment. So, and again, not real religious per se, but very much a meditative, sort of informative.
Right, and just to get a feel for more, about the town, especially like you're saying, some of the churches have that amazing history if they were there during the Civil War, and I know my favorite part of Christmas is seeing all the decorations, and I love going back to my hometown and seeing my church and how it's decorated, but it's really cool to see what other churches look like.
Yes, and some of their other traditions just from, you know, a congregation just down the block from your congregation.
Right, and you would have no idea that it was right there because, like you said, you mainly probably go to one church,
right.
So it's cool to see what everything else looks like. Well, let's get that information up on the screen for you. Again, it's a Christmas tour of churches from 2 to 6 on Sunday. The tour includes 11 churches in and around Smithsburg, and you can call the number at the bottom of your screen for more information.
And I should say, this particular tour, Hagerstown's tour took place earlier this week. Now, Smithsburg, right. This is the, I want to say it's the second year for Smithsburg.
Right. And so this event is the one in Smithsburg.
Right. Right. Okay. And the churches are a little bit more spread out. So you'll want to take your car for this one because some of them are in Cave Town. And bundle up. And some of them are up on the mountainside. So it's a little bit further out. Right. But this is they want to build this into something as well. Cool.
Well, it sounds like a great event. So let's get talking about New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
The next big thing to look forward to,
right.
Since we're done with Christmas
right.
now.
And there's of course a million places you can go and party and dance on
right.
New Year's Eve. We'll have a list of a few of them that we've been let know about, but I wanted to raise up one of them. Right. The Shepherdstown Opera House is they've got a couple of bands coming in that have a great following. This is the Hillbilly Gypsies that have played here locally before, and also the Woodshedders have played around here. They both play Appalachian style, root style, bluegrass music in that genre.
Right.
And so they'll play one after the other, and they start at 9 o'clock and they go past midnight. So it'll be a nice time. It's a small venue, the Opera House. You know, the seats are hard. They say bring your own cushions, but it's an old time, century old theater, and it's a nice place to see a band.
Yeah, it sounds like a really cool
this.
place to ring in the new year.
Yeah.
Well, let's get that information up on the screen for you. Again, it's a New Year's Eve Stringfest at 9 p.m. on Monday, New Year's Eve. It's at Shepherdstown Opera House, and it's $25 in advance and $30 at the door. And like Chris was saying, there are a few events going on around the area for New Year's Eve that we wanted just to give everyone a heads up about.
And there's Sean Collins and Backbeats will play at the Ramada Plaza Hotel near Valley Mall, right. And Spectrum is playing at the American Legion Post, the Morris Frock Post in Hagerstown, and Don't Look Back is playing at the American Legion Post in Charlestown. And there are many others. We'll put them up on our website as we know about them, heraldmail.com. And that's go to the lifestyle page and we'll have those listed.
Right. Well, let's get that information up on the screen for you for everyone to see. Again, these are various New Year's Eve dance parties that will be taking place around the area. Like we said, there's one at Valley Mall, there's another one in Hagerstown, and then another one in Charlestown. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for joining me today, and thank you for joining us. Again, you can look on heraldmail.com for more information.